Hello and one and all, and welcome back to another video on Joseph Reviews. And we are continuing my Bond series. Hope you guys are enjoying my Bond series. I've reviewed the first 5 Sean Connery Bond films and the first 5 Bond films in the official series. The last one was You Only Live Twice, which was early this month. And now we're on to Her Majesty's Secret Service, which stars the one and only George Lazenby. There we are. So, On Her Majesty's Secret Service is the 11th Bond book. It was a very popular Bond book by Ian Fleming. It stars the Australian model, George Lazenby. You also have Diana Rigg as Tracy, who's the Bond girl in this. Telly Savalas as Ernst Stavro Blofeld. This is the 6th Bond film in this series, and this was released in 1969. And like all my Bond reviews, this will contain spoilers in here, so you've been warned. Let's do it. And so, guys, we get the usual gun barrel sequence with says Harry Saltzman and Albert Broccoli, which is a similar gun barrel sequence to Dr. No. And I kind of, whenever I first watched the series chronologically released, I kind of felt like I thought, okay, they're probably going to show Harry Saltz and Albert Broccoli for when a new Bond steps in. But spoiler alert, no. Just this one and Dr. No. And then you get to see George Lazenby in the gun barrel sequence. And it's a very different kind of performance, because when the gun barrel stops, he sort of starts walking on one spot, and then he does that kneel down. It's weird because you have one leg like that and one leg kneeling down like that. And I really like how the blood comes in front of him, which is really cool. You know, Bond disappears, and then it's onto the film. You see all the MI6 characters, you see M and Q, and then we're of course in Portugal, where Bond is driving his new Aston Martin DBS, and he sees this girl driving past him, decides to follow the girl at a beach, and then you get to see some reveal on Bond, George Lazenby. And the girl goes to the water, and Bond starts running after her and carries her out and says, "Good morning, my name's Bond, James Bond, Miss." As you can tell, George Lazenby isn't really an actor, he's just a model. And of course but the best part about George Lazenby that he's involved in is the action sequences. He is great in the action sequences. And yes, guys, this is George Lazenby's only Bond film in this series. We'll get to that soon. And he's probably the weakest of all the official series Bonds. But there are good things about him. The best thing about him is especially the fight scenes at the beach and everything, even though it's not that bright enough to see, but still. And then the girl starts going off and leaves Bond behind along with the shoes. And then we get this awkward one-liner. "This never happened to the other fella." I'm like, so this never happened to Sean Connery. And then you get this brilliant music and excellent title sequence. Both of them are just excellent. The music and everything. Dun 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 dun. Do 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 do. And then you get to see all the past Bond adventures from Dr. No to You Only Live Twice. Yeah, at least it wasn't like a cinematic universe setup like Spectre was. But then later on, you see Bond in this really nice suit, wearing a white suit and along with a black tie, and he asks, "Does the red car belong to a girl?" And then Later on, you see him in the casino and starts meeting up with the girl, where we're introduced to, known as Tracy. And what can I tell you guys? Tracy is one of the best Bond girls in this entire Bond series. Like, she is just well portrayed, just her look and everything, and the way how they get on with each other. It's just great. You know, it's a very good introduction. It's a bit weird how we're introduced to a Bond girl in a pre-title sequence. Sometimes you get it, sometimes you don't in Bond films. But yes, it goes either way. But yes, Diana Rigg is perfect as Tracy in this movie. And later on, Bond goes into a hotel room and starts having another fight scene with one of the guys. And then Bond gets into another fight, and then we are introduced to Tracy's father in this movie. Meets him in the office, throws a knife at the sort of calendar where it says September in a different language. And, you know, you get this talk thing at a bull competition, you know, where the bulls are fighting each other, and then Bond starts proposing with Tracy and everything, and then you get this lovely montage, which you barely get in a Bond film, but it's a montage of Bond and Tracy just getting on with each other. You get the music on and everything. And later, we go to Switzerland, where there's this Olympics thing going on, Winter Olympics or something like that. And then we are introduced to one of the henchwomen in this film, which is Irma Butt, who's an essay. You know, she's not like a fighting character like Rosa Claire was in From Russia with Love, but she's sort of on the Spectre team. And then later on, we're introduced to Telly Savalas Blofeld, who is who I thought Donald Pleasance in You Only Live Twice was good, but nothing too special about him. But here, in my opinion, he is the best Blofeld as being Telly Savalas. He is just great. And I know he doesn't have the scarf, but the way they add him in some action sequences is just perfect. Especially on the first skiing scene. Heck, we get to see Blofeld in action. Yes, and that's why I think Telly Savalas is the best Blofeld by far in the Bond series. Just the most action Blofeld, of them all. Especially the skiing scene. And then you get to see this sort of fair going on. And then Bond bumps into Tracy, and then they go to a certain barn, and you know they're starting to sleep there, and Bond is saying lovely things to Tracy. There's no better girl than you. Will you marry me? Yes. This proposing is just great, and then later on you see them both skiing together, and then you see all the bad guys coming together and everything, and then Tracy gets captured, and you know, and then Bond is brought back to MI6, then he comes back, and then you get a very awesome action and a very cool skiing sequence where Bond and Blofeld are going against each other. And Bond eventually wins, and he gets to end up with a dog. And then, out of many women Bond has seen, he has found the one to spend time with the most with. He gets married with Tracy. You know, all the MI6 characters are there. You know, all the you know, Tracy's dad's there, and then Bond and Tracy get in the Aston Martin. They stop by, and you get to see Bunt and Blofeld shooting by. Bond survives, but then gets in the car and realizes that Tracy has been shot in the forehead. And then you get this motorbike come through, and Bond's like, "It's alright. It's quite alright, really. She's having a rest. We'll be getting on soon." And then the film ends with a sad note, unfortunately. So guys, let's get to the positives after me going all the things that happen in the movie. Like I said, Diana Rigg as Tracy is one of the best Bond girls we have. Telly Savalas is probably the best Blofeld we've got, even though I'm not a fan of the Blofeld character. But this is by far the best portrayed Blofeld we've gotten. And all the action sequences are just top notch. The romance with George Lazenby and Diana Rigg as their characters are just great. And the ending is very emotional. And really, the only problem I have with it is some George Lazenby's one-liners, you know. And yes, I get it, he's wooden, you know. This never happened to the other fella. You know, it's pretty stupid and all, but really, this is a great Bond film, for goodness sake. It's definitely one of the best up there. I mean, it's not as good as, like, Goldfinger or anything, but hey, I still would rank it right up there. I would say it's about a lot up there with From Russia with Love and Dr. No. So, overall, guys, On Her Majesty's Secret Service is a very good Bond film. Very emotional, very action-packed. You know, all the characters are great in this. Bunt, whoever she's called, she's great in this. So is Diana Rigg and Telly Savalas. Ah, yes, and all the girls who are at the at Switzerland. They're all pretty good. And, you know, just the action sequences are great. The skiing scenes and the final action sequence, if you know what I mean, whenever the 007 Legends game adds it on, if you know what I'm talking about, if you've played that game. But yes, guys, this is definitely one of the best Bond films in the series. It's definitely up there, and on my rating scale, I am going to give On Her Majesty's Secret Service a 9 out of 10. Alrighty, guys, that was my review on Her Majesty's Secret Service. Comment down below, let me know what you all thought of this movie. Let me know below in the comments. Where do you rank it with the Bond films in the series? How do you rank it with the Sean Connery Bond films? Let me know below in the comments. And stay tuned next month, which will be July, where I'll be reviewing the next 2 Bond films in the series in that month, which will be Diamonds Are Forever and the Roger Moore debut, Live and Let Die. Look forward to those, guys. Cannot wait to talk about some more Bond with you. As always, comment, like and subscribe. All my social media links are in the description below. Don't forget to click on the notification bell before you leave. And as always, until my next video, I will see you guys then, and peace.